Hi everyone, and once again your favorite finisher, looking pretty much like I did on the AT. My good old backpack, my good old clothes, but now we're hiking in Finland. So you get to see a little bit of my beautiful country. I'm standing now at the southern end of the Salpapolku, or you might call it Salpalinja trail. It's about 55 kilometers trail and gravel roads in southern Finland, and there's quite a bit of a history on this trail, but I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that later. It's about 6 p.m, so it's quite late start today because I was working this morning and then my mom drove me here. But I'm going to do just a little bit of hiking today, and then I think it's going to be 2 additional days to get this trail done. I'm in the very southern part of Finland, and this body of water that you're seeing here, it's not a lake, it's sea, it's the Finnish Bay. So you really can't go really much further south in Finland than what I am now. And on the other side of that sea, it's too far away to see, but there is Estonia. Nice country also. Off from the gravel road, and now there is the actual trail. And the logo of the trail is this little, I think it's an otter, and on the trees there are blue blazes. I've been used to following the white blazes on the AT, and the blue blazes were for side trails, but now I'm going to follow the blue blazes. This might look like something that you're not very used to seeing on a trail, but I'm in a trench and there is a dugout, which is of course completely dark. This is a World War II era dugout, and it's made to have a place to live for, I think, 20 men. And I'm back in the trench again. I don't know if there is another dugout in the... Yes, there is. And there are lots of mosquitoes in here, they're biting me all the time. Okay, now you might be wondering, okay, trenches, a World War II era dugouts in the forest in southern Finland, what is? So, let me tell you a little bit about the history. In the winter of 1939, 1940, Finland and Soviet Union were fighting a winter war. And after that, Finns were not very certain what their neighbors wanted, and maybe we were feeling a little bit threatened by the Soviet Union. And what we decided to do was to build this defense line that's called Salpalinja, which goes through all the eastern Finland. So it's 1,200 kilometers long. And it's full of these bunkers and trenches and dugouts. Oops, a little bit steep here. Yes, so this was built in the early 40s, and it was meant to be like the last resource, the last line. If nothing else is holding back, this is where the Russians are going to stop, or the Soviets. But what happened, the Soviet soldiers, they never got this far, luckily. Otherwise, I think we might be speaking Russian now in here. And the Salpalinja is still in here, though it was never used. And I think the Finnish government was kind of taking care of it till the Cold War era. And after that, it was just kind of let to rot, because there was no use for these bunkers anymore. And now they are just out there, wide open, and you can go there, like you saw, of course, with your own risk. And the 55 kilometers of the southernmost part of the Salpalinja is now a hiking trail, and there's lots of these trenches and bunkers all over the place. Some of them are actually quite dangerous to go into, so one has to really have a light and be very careful not to step on an empty spot and fall through the bunker floor. These rocks in here have not just magically appeared here, but these are anti-tank fortifications. And I think there should be a lot of more of these along the Salpalinja. And now I'm in the middle of them, the anti-tank fortifications. The trail keeps going here in between, and it's partly quite overgrown, so I don't know if this is a very popular trail, but it is an interesting one. And I know that many people come here to see the bunkers and dugouts, but I don't know if there are so many people who actually do true hike it. Yeehaw, a trail sign. I was a little bit concerned if I'm on the trail at all. When I came to this gravel road, there has been some kind of a machine that has been taking out the forest, and well, you really couldn't tell where the trail was anymore, because this forest machine had been all over the place. But I'm on the trail, so that's a good thing. There's one more bunker. I'll leave my poles in here. These places are kind of spooky. And there's a place where you shoot from, I guess. And once again, I'm in a dugout. And there's a nice echo. And as I said, these can be quite dangerous if you are, well, a little bit taller than me. You don't want to have one of those to your head. And I was wondering while I was bushwhacking if there would be any snakes in here, because I don't have the medicine for the snake bite. And I found this snake skin, and it looks like it's from a common European viper that is the only venomous snake in Finland. So I really don't want to see one. Skin is good enough for me. Well, not so good news this time. I had to abort the mission for I took quite a detour of a few kilometers, and when I realized it, it was like 9:30 and it's about to come dark within an hour. So if I go back to where I went wrong, it's gonna be dark before I get there, and then I have to hike quite a while to get to somewhere where I can set my camp. So that is a problem. So I was pondering it for a while, that's what I'm going to do. And well, the trail's not going to go anywhere, so I decided to call myself a ride and head back home, because the trail was quite overgrown in many places, and if I have to hike it in the dark and the signs were not very great, I don't really feel like I want to risk it to really get lost in the woods. So now at least I know where I am and I'm safe and sound. So this time I'm gonna call it a day, and I'm gonna get a ride back home, and maybe next time. Better luck. One of the good things about life is that even when you fail, you get that sunset.